win off of a hard counter for top side matchup. So very unlikely that they do it. But man, those games are fun to watch when a team puts so much effort into it. And it is just going to be the Shen here for solo on the top side, which you definitely can get bullied by the Renekton, but your Spirit's Refuge is really good versus him. If you can time it correctly and block, especially like a W or something from Renekton, that would be huge. Mostly though, solo just going to be looking to play, stand united. You can jump onto either Santorin or PowerOfEvil. My favorite ones are with LeBlanc getting the stand united and going super deep to assassinate Caitlyn. That's going to be one of the big strategies here for FlyQuest. But you can very well just, piggyback on the Sett for an easy entry into the very center of the fight, and you combo that with your taunt.
Yeah, both of our teams here this time around, talking about entry into the fight, have some pretty big front lines here to challenge their opponents with. Renekton and Volibear going up against Shen and Sett means that neither one of them will be in the spot we've seen a lot of teams draft themselves into over the course of this split, where one mistake could just cost you the entire game because you don't have a front line and you have to be super clean with the execution. Means we should be seeing a lot of team fighting this game, and I want a bloody match to kick off Week 8 here. Yeah, well, not kick off Week 8. We had Friday Night League, but to kick off Saturday weekend.
We're just kicking off all over the place here.
Just kick it off every day.
We should also mention, pre-buffs to Shen. It was just Impact playing Shen, but Shen also is getting some of those nice shield buffs. 20 flat for the shield coming up for him is going to be really nice.
All right, here we go. A nice panoramic view of the shopkeeper with his fiendish codex. A health potion, a mana potion, what is it, like 17 gold on the table? That's not even worth like a whole melee minion. He needs to work on saving his money a little bit better as the teams are out onto the rift. Let's see how this one shakes out here. Thresh, one of those playmaker supports there in the bottom lane. You can see heading out there with the Senna. Makes it easy to chain the CC together between those two, but going up against Nautilus, it will be Hook City here between these two in the bottom lane. But that's always super fun to watch, man. I love two different playmaking supports, because it means even if one guy gets lazy, we still got the other guy to do it.
If one of them's slacking off, you just you jump ship and you get on the hype train of the other one.
Exactly. If one guy decides, no, I just want to farm it out, we still have a whole other guy that could decide he wants to play some aggressive League of Legends.
So we should have like a running vote here for who is the mayor of Hook City throughout this game for chat to just continually vote on. Is it going to be IgNar or Poome? Poome game, I know Poome gang is gonna come out hard in the voting early on, I know, but we'll see if IgNar can step it up with some early hooks.
Right. Poome has a very dedicated fan base, a very vocal fan base. But if he starts missing some hooks and IgNar takes over, he could be overthrown or out-elected or whatever political words I'm supposed to use for this. But hey, let's take a look at hey, don't worry about it. That's how we make this sound more intense. Anyway, they're just farming some creeps up here in the bottom lane. Going to be plenty of range on both of these carries. We know that Caitlyn has long range for the entirety of the game, and of course, every 20 souls that Senna is able to pick up means she's going to be able to add to her range here as well. Santorin coming bottom very early here. This was a red buff into just going for the gank in the bottom lane here. Beautiful hook coming out from IgNar there on to Poome. He recognizes he is dead as a doornail, will not even use the flash, and first blood to FlyQuest.
Looks like IgNar's running mate in his campaign is Santorin, who comes right down to send his vote for IgNar, Mayor of Hook City. Now, because he buffered the Nautilus hook pretty well there, though, Poome did get a little bit of distance. Doesn't matter with a Sett coming down, though. Santorin right into minions, easily able to clap him back, get the stun there. And this is kind of in Champ Select what I was alluding to with Contractz and Santorin being two of the top LCS junglers at the moment in creating a lot of this action. Santorin just goes straight from red all the way down to the bottom gank. We've seen that over the years be really effective at surprising a lot of those bottom
all the
laners,
way down into the bottom gank
so
there.
off.
But the one thing I remember that play reminded me of is there was a moment, I'm trying to remember when this was. This was years ago.
I'm not quite sure if we lost Flowers or not, but I cannot hear him anymore, so I'm just going to go with it. Scuttlecraft fight.
Okay, I'm back. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm back. We got Contractz in some trouble. It's FlyQuest looking to make those moves here once again. 100 Thieves trying to get themselves away. PowerOfEvil grabbing the kill on to Poome. Cody's son fires off a couple of bullets into the mix, but it won't do a thing. FlyQuest 2-0 here on the board.
And just like that, the bottom lane pays Santorin back for his gank. They get him the Scuttle Crab. My favorite. You love to see that as a jungler. Good collapse there from FlyQuest. They are coming out of the gates in this matchup with 100 Thieves just annihilating them on the bottom half of the map. This is going to set up really well for some dragon control for FlyQuest trying to play off that lane.
100 Thieves down, 2 kills here early on, 2 assists for Santorin, making sure he's a part of everything here on this set. Walking back into his own jungle now. You can see at least there wasn't a 2-crabbing happening to Contractz here. That is the worst feeling when you're a jungler. You lose both crabs early on. It's just like, oh man, I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore. But Contractz still staying relevant here thanks to the farm, but not yet involved in any of those kills. Poome down 0-2 already. I would say the Poome gang not off to the greatest start here.
True. You know, there's always a good comeback mechanic though in the voting poll because people start to feel sad for you. You know, so maybe he gets some underdog love here.
Talking about pity points.
Talking about some pity points. Honestly though, it's really big. There's an opportunity for him to make those up. I always look for, you know, the 6 to 7 minute support recall and roams. You can invest in early move speed as well to make that happen. Both Nautilus and Thresh are very good support champions at making those, you know, first recall roams very effective. So that could be a chance for him to actually catch up without having to rely on some pity points.
You never want to be counting your pity votes 5 minutes into the game. Feels like a pretty troubling early sign here. Checking in on top side, it's Ssumday with a bit of a CS lead here early on in the top lane. You usually expect that when Renekton's prowling around up here. Champion's very, very powerful in these early trades, in this early laning phase. Solo just kind of having to stay back, maintain a healthy respect there of the Croc, especially when that Fury bar is fully charged up.
Especially if you're looking at CS leads down on the bottom side too. Caitlyn making good use of the range despite Poome going down over and over. Cody's son still keeping up quite well with that CS, and he does get to beat his 6-minute BF sword recall timing, gets it off a little early there. On that timing though, Santorin's going to take that opportunity, get that dragon we were talking about for FlyQuest, playing off the success of this lane early.
Yep, Santorin picking that one up, no problem for himself. Sett is wonderful at these jobs where you just have to stand still and punch something over and over and over again. 2 souls pop out. How does a dragon have 2 different souls? That doesn't even make any sense, but Turtle's going to pick them both up anyway, making sure he shows up there to grab that extra scaling opportunity. As Cody's son tries to step forward and contest this control ward, Turtle needs the last shot to take it down, but now Poome has the chance to go for the play. WildTurtle trading his flash for a control ward. I don't know about that one.
Well, how much do you value vision score, Clayton?
About 75 gold's worth, my friend.
Well, now he's flashless, and he's going to have to give over control. Looks like this wave should push really easily, though. I don't even think one of the melees is going to die during the push, so he shouldn't be punished too quickly. IgNar going for a control ward as well, and then try to rush, but they are unable to successfully clear it.
These darn control wards baiting FlyQuest in to just try to challenge them. Let's take a look back here at mid lane, see what's going on. Ryoma does have a cleanse picked up. Just pops it there for the trading potential with PowerOfEvil. Doesn't really get much value out of it, but will then pick up an exhaust. So that one should see a lot of use here if PowerOfEvil tries to go in on Ryoma, get aggressive with the trading. Those Zoe balloons are so tricky, man. They make you have to play things so differently than you otherwise would if he's sitting there on top of an exhaust or something powerful like that. But you can see the Zoe now going over to pick up the blue buff here, have some extra spamming potential there in the mid lane. Contractz level 6, Santorin level 6. Both of these junglers with those big playmaking ultis ready to go. I want to see them get involved, Kobe. I want to see some battle in these lanes.
And if you're highlighting ultimates right now too, stand united for FlyQuest at the ready for solo. Now, Ssumday was able to get one of those kind of free recalls off where he pushed the lane in and forced solo to pick up the minions. So he is 1 purchase ahead of solo at the moment with the Cutlass on Renekton. And your goal when you're playing against Shen like this with a pressure matchup is to continually shove the Shen in over and over so they don't have time to make one of these bottom lane plays. 100 Thieves going to try and make one of their own. You have to keep your eyes closely on the top lane matchup too.
IgNar wants to get away from this, but he is likely already dead. The Stand United coming in, keeping him alive for only a moment. Shen will not be able to show up in time, and now it's FlyQuest losing some HP down here. Santorin wants to disengage, flashed over the wall to stay alive. Poome goes after WildTurtle, but the hook only hits the wall. 100 Thieves grab themselves a 1-for-0 here so far, and it looks like the fight's going to dissipate.
That is huge for 100 Thieves. When you can burst your way through the first Shen ultimate without even giving Solo time to arrive, that just takes away so much of the threat, opens up a lot more of the objectives on the bottom half of the map for you. So it's a really good start, and that was Poome with the hook there. So he's able to get some points back for himself in lane. Nicely done. And Contractz plus Cody's son can just burst him down before Shen can arrive. Don't believe Ssumday had to interrupt it.
Whoa, it's going to get bloody here pretty quickly. Contractz trying to walk himself away, but Bear's got no ulti anymore, so FlyQuest have an easy kill. But Ssumday has arrived here with a TP. Poome likely going to fall. IgNar trying to get away to the side. It's a 2-for-1 so far. Turtle takes down Poome and then pays for it with his life. It's Cody's son grabbing the money on that one, but Ssumday largely responsible for making sure it's set up.
And I believe that Solo had just used the teleport back to topside, so that's why Ssumday could get down there unanswered. Even so, though, FlyQuest had won the engage so quickly that despite the extra teleport coming from 100 Thieves, it's still going to be in FlyQuest's favor. If you look at this, they are burning down Contractz. They juke away from Poome. Good Thresh Lantern there to get him out of range. And then, yes, Ssumday does teleport down. You can see Solo still on the top side. He's going to be able to push up the minions. But Ssumday only is able to get one back for 100 Thieves. Now off the reset, though, they want to get the objective. And this should be basically guaranteed for them because everybody's still resetting from FlyQuest.
FlyQuest just now getting out of their base back onto the Rift. 100 Thieves with the control over the pit there with those control wards that you're seeing. And the bottom lane help in the jungler means no contest here on that Rift Trail picked up by Contractz. Still 3.5 minutes before the plates fall, so plenty of time for him to try to get the extra value out of using that one to crack a couple of plates in whichever lane he deems most worthy. Ryoma trying to escape from PowerOfEvil here, but a lot of backup showing up there as the CC comes through. The whole Goon Squad shows up, and PowerOfEvil picks up his 3rd kill of this game.
I'm really enjoying the pace of this game, honestly. And Santorin with another big play here. Runs right into the lane. PowerOfEvil sets him up, chains with LeBlanc. They're focusing on the lanes that they do have gank set up for themselves. Off of the reset, too, we've got Dragon. So when Dragon's about to spawn, you want to reset back. And they're swapping Caitlyn and Nautilus back down to the bottom side. Remember, Contractz also still has the Rift Herald. So despite the play from FlyQuest getting the kill on the mid laner, which usually is going to give you away control of the Dragon, because of this reset for 100 Thieves, they're going to be the ones overloading bottom side.
Solo with a good dash away there with a taunt onto Ssumday. So many 100 Thieves bodies down here trying to take out this Shen. Ace in the hole was barely a tickle. There, the power of this Shen just being tanky enough to endure that one as Contractz tries to go over the wall and look for something here. Solo just completely dips, but he does have a way to get back into the fight here with a Stand United if need be. Contractz continuing to look for the fight onto Santorin, but that Stand United will be able to keep the jungler alive on the FlyQuest side. 100 Thieves now in retreat. PowerOfEvil may come around the corner here. Contractz with his ulti now faded away, and no mana is not in the best shape to continue this fight. Shelly is summoned up. Should be able to get the charge off here, but IgNar with a nice play, trying to use the CC and control Shelly before she can charge. Keeps her just out of range of the turret and stops the ability of her to get in range to charge. So well done there by IgNar, making sure they don't give away that plate money, making Shelly completely worthless.
That is threefold a macro win for FlyQuest. First of all, 100 Thieves, they don't force the Dragon quick enough while they still see Turtle and IgNar on the top side of the map. So not only do they not get the Dragon off of their reset towards bottom side, but using that Rift Herald right in front of the reset from FlyQuest, they've got extra members down. They kill off the Rift Herald, neutralizing the other objective trade that 100 Thieves had previously gotten, in addition to getting the second Dragon. That was just a clean sweep here for FlyQuest off of a bit of an overdive.
Things looking good here for the FlyQuest side. Also with Ocean Rift popping up now. Shen with an Ocean Soul, Sett with an Ocean Soul. There's some pretty big problems with those prospects here if 100 Thieves don't manage to get these neutral objectives under control a little bit better. However, despite FlyQuest's lead in terms of 6-2 in the kills, 2-0 on the Drakes, it is still only a 300 gold lead, thanks to the farm advantages that 100 Thieves have got themselves, primarily in the top and bottom lanes. So the ability of this squad to keep CSing, make sure that they're building up those passive advantages, means this game is still incredibly close overall, and 100 Thieves do have the opportunity to come back here. But FlyQuest with a 3-0 LeBlanc that already has Luden's Echo done is very scary.
Yeah, I was going to say, the big thing is where the gold is. While the overall gold is very, very close for these teams, because FlyQuest have it concentrated on PowerOfEvil. That is a LeBlanc that has a Shen stand united to back her up. Plus, you're facing a team that does not have instant lockdown unless she dashes right into Ssumday or Contractz, or Ssumday and Contractz flash on PowerOfEvil, then he should be able to consistently go for that poke towards the backside of the team. Plus, they have a lot of good ways of getting Shen into the fight. So I think FlyQuest are in a pretty good spot until now.
Oh, Turtle getting pulled to safety there by the Lantern, but here comes Poome with the hook to follow it up. Turtle's in some danger, trying to get himself back. A nice disable onto the turret coming out from Contractz, but 100 Thieves are not able to find their target, and now Santorin has showed up. Over the top he goes. The damage comes in. Contractz running right back into the maw of doom. He tries to survive, but he will not do it. There's your stopwatch, but what's it even going to mean? The couple of extra seconds do not matter. A double kill for PowerOfEvil and a beautiful turnaround coming out from FlyQuest.
P-O-E. Captain Flowers not only was previous to this fight the gold concentrated on PowerOfEvil's LeBlanc, he picks up extra kills down here, getting both of them. This is going to be a PowerOfEvil run game from this point on. He can stay down bottom side. He could probably even get solo turret gold on that bottom turret. Ssumday, though, trying to work out.
Ssumday making solo regret going in for that damage. Baits him in with the ulti, turns things right back around, and despite the flash, just slaps him down into the grave. Solo kill for the 100 Thieves top laner to sort of bring a little bit of life back into this squad after that big loss bottom lane.
Yep, he's doing everything he can here to try and get 100 Thieves back on track. If he can equalize the top tower, this is going to be big because it'll give them a lot more room to play with. The thing is, LeBlanc in the side lanes is going to be insanely difficult to deal with now after these 2 kills that PoE picks up. So look at the mini-map at the start of this fight. IgNar and WildTurtle, very good evasive maneuvers right off the bat. As soon as they see the enemies coming for the gank, Turtle splits. He goes up the lane so that he can get a long distance with the Dark Passage, then saves his ultimate for under tower, gets his own shield, and despite Contractz turning off that turret, Santorin and PowerOfEvil ran straight down here, and you can see the burst damage from PoE, picking up the 2 kills. He lets the Ignite burn take away Contractz, walks away, doesn't have to look at the death, goes in for the next one here, and they just burst down Nautilus as well.
So much power on this FlyQuest squad to turn things around when 100 Thieves can't get the job done. Contractz 1 and 2 here in the jungle of Volibear. Poome in some trouble yet again, man. It is just error after error this game for Poome. Santorin saved by IgNar. This election is not close, Cody. It is not even a ball game anymore. 0-5-2 for Poome. 0-1-9 for IgNar. 90% kill participation. Constantly saving people with lanterns. Constantly hitting these death sentences. It is a very good game for the FlyQuest support.
Yeah, that's another big one. We don't have a statistic for teammates saved with Dark Passage. Now IgNar's down around for a classic IgNar flank.
Not saving anybody anymore. Now it's all about setting things up. In he goes on to 2. Flay comes through, but it's Ssumday looking for the kill, and it's Contractz with the damage on to WildTurtle. All in all, a 1-for-1 trade down here. That's good for 100 Thieves, turning that into something they can work with. Ssumday is the win condition here for this 100 Thieves squad, being able to make something happen out of these dire situations.
Yeah, the thing is with Renekton later on into the game, without the flash, he loses a lot of the kill threat on the backline members. And this should set up FlyQuest for a possible third dragon here. Ssumday's running back right now, but it's going to take a little while, and I think they can burn it down. Maybe Ryoma steal?
Ryoma, does he have the power?
You could throw a Q.
Nope. Secured by Santorin, and that is sole point now for FlyQuest. Any more Drakes get given over, and 100 Thieves has to deal with an Ocean sold up FlyQuest squad. Ssumday trying to get himself out of here as Turtle and PowerOfEvil look for the damage onto the Croc. Remember, he has no ulti to try to give himself a bit of extra survivability. PowerOfEvil still may be looking for a chance here, but way too many 100 Thieves players nearby.
All right, so looking forward with this comp from FlyQuest, you've got your great early lead, exactly how you want to set this up. Keep Shen split pushing on the side lane here, and you can send LeBlanc to the other half of the map. 6-0 PowerOfEvil will terrorize anybody in the side lane, especially since Ssumday does not have flash. You cannot get that surprise kill by flashing over to the distortion of PoE and going for that burst, which sometimes with the Blade of the Ruin King Renekton, you honestly can try and do later in the game. But that's not going to be the case now because long cooldown on that flash. So a very easy setup for 1-3-1 here for FlyQuest to increase their lead. Then they can kind of creep into the jungle, get the deeper vision, and try to steal away some of those camps.
Right, stealing away the camps, getting the picks, the power of a death sentence, or just the burst of PowerOfEvil out of one of those brushes, out of that fog of war. So deadly here for the 100 Thieves squad. Yes, some days a little bit hard to 100-0 Contractz as well, but Poome, because he still does not have that Gargoyle Stone Plate completed, actually incredibly squishy here on this Nautilus. Zoe and Caitlyn also typical targets that can just pop like a balloon if PowerOfEvil finds his way there. Shelly is spawned, and now Shelly's gone. No second Shelly this time around here in this game. So that means 0 Rift Herald profitability in this game. Second one dies in the pit. First one dies without being able to get the charge off. Probably one of the most unsuccessful Rift Herald games ever. Just because you can't get much more unsuccessful than 0.
This is first game of the day for Shelly. You get a warm-up game.
Oh, you know, she's got a warm-up. Is this Shelly's practice game?
Yeah, you know,
she cute.
you don't jump right into ranked, right? Shelly's playing a little warm-up game here with friends.
Okay, this is her normals beforehand, just to get the mechanics ready to go, make sure the fingers are all loosey-goosey. All right, Shelly, we'll see you in the next one. We'll see if she's able to turn it on in game 2. But right now, 100 Thieves need to find a way to turn it on here in this one. Still down about 2,500 gold. Looking for maybe a chance to do something here mid lane. Santorin and IgNar hanging out over the wall here as Turtle just continues to farm up this mid wave with the power of the range of the Senna.
Now,
auto attacks, piercing darkness, easy money.
I would think that they would have wanted to keep PowerOfEvil on the side lane. I thought that was a really good plan, and they were actually executing on it, keeping PowerOfEvil on top side, because if you can get the top tower in 2 minutes, there's going to be an Ocean Soul arriving. So top tower is actually a very valuable objective for FlyQuest right now. And by bringing PowerOfEvil for about 40 seconds over to that mid lane, they stalled out a little bit on their split push. He's gone right back to it, though. And with this amount of AP, you actually do big chunks to towers. Ever since they buffed the ratios there for AP being able to destroy structures, PowerOfEvil does get a decent chunk on it.
Yep. Not quite enough to take it down, though. 1 minute, 45 seconds until that next Ocean Drake does spawn. Contractz still hanging around this top side to see if maybe they can get a punish down onto PowerOfEvil. The ability to get that point-and-click stun could lock him down long enough for some damage, but PowerOfEvil eating some damage from the Paddle Star. Santorin has also showed up. Control Ward just getting beat up here. Santorin making sure there's no extra vision for the side of 100 Thieves. FlyQuest sticking around as long as they think is safe, but really want to respect this Dragon Timer. They don't want to be late to the party on this one. That Ocean Soul is such a big prize for this squad 22 minutes into the game.
If PoE can complete his death cap on this back, I like how he diverted his build. After getting the extra 2 kills on bottom side, he went for the death cap instead. He just left his Phoenix Codex there. He's like, you know what? I've got 6 kills. I'm going straight for death cap for timing for the soul. This is amazing timing for FlyQuest. That is a huge power spike because the only magic resist really is Merc Treads on the enemy team. And you see,
that hat does not play around. So much damage from this LeBlanc on PowerOfEvil. Contractz is sent back to the base. 100 Thieves knows if he's going to go back, it has to be right now, because he needs to be back onto the map immediately to contest this Drake. Ssumday, CC, damage coming out from PowerOfEvil here too. Blade of the Ruined King used by Ssumday. If he goes back, he won't be there in time for the fight. He will have to TP in, but he won't be there immediately. Blade of the Ruined King also down for the next 80 seconds here. Means he won't have that for the team fight if FlyQuest decide to immediately force this objective on spawn. Turtle trying to keep the mid wave held in a decent spot. Sleepy Trouble Bubble does not find IgNar. FlyQuest already hanging out by this pit, but they are not starting the Drake up here just yet. Looking to make a fight happen first. Contractz trying to jump away, but Santorin is able to find the ulti onto multiple people, looking to keep himself alive. Stand United coming down. PowerOfEvil is godlike, and what else could he be with the items in his inventory? Solo keeping Ssumday controlled. Yes, he loses that 1v1 fight off to the side, but he keeps the most powerful Nimbler of 100 Thieves out of the fight. Now FlyQuest are onto the Ocean Drake itself. That Sleepy Trouble Bubble actually connects onto Santorin for a lot of damage, but Turtle's grabbing the kill onto Cody's son. Contractz barely left alive. A taunt comes out from Solo, and Ryoma's removed from the equation as well. Ssumday stands 1v5, but that's going to make a nice pair of alligator boots, baby. FlyQuest, they take down 4 players from 100 Thieves. They will earn themselves an Ocean Soul. What a mid-game team fight here from this squad.
Another FlyQuest Ocean Soul for themselves. Really well done after that pick. Again, they just set up PowerOfEvil so well. Let's take a look at the start. IgNar gets the hook on a Contractz that forces his ult out backwards, and Santorin says, great, that's a great grouping for a Sett ultimate. Plus you get the Senna shield and Shen shield on top of him. So he's in there with Haymaker plus Senna ultimate plus Shen ultimate shields. No counter kill comes through for 100 Thieves. And then FlyQuest with the extra person, IgNar actually mistimes that a little bit with the Zoe ultimate and her going right back to it. But there's going to be very few options. So you see a split from 100 Thieves. Cody's son just gets picked and annihilated. And then Ssumday, after blast going in, he's like, you know what? This is a really rough situation. I've just blast coned in, and my other carry just got killed on the other side. There's nowhere for him to go. So he tries to get the only achievable kill there, possibly, on the enemy jungler. And even that does not come through.
And you can see a lot of damage done by Ssumday in that last fight, but really from no one else on 100 Thieves. 1,600 coming out from Ryoma, but that's the same amount that Santorin did for FlyQuest. And then you have Turtle hitting 3,700 and almost 3K also coming out from PowerOfEvil. FlyQuest dominating these fights, 4,000 gold ahead, Ocean Soul already secured. I want to see them accelerate this game very rapidly now. I want to see them push up, start taking that vision that you were talking about earlier. Get rid of this remaining Tier 1 turret. That thing has been alive forever on the side of 100 Thieves. PowerOfEvil should take care of it. You're talking about big chunks on the turrets? Death Cap will just completely demolish that sucker.
Yep. Now FlyQuest going to have just such a relaxing time. They've got their iconic Ocean Soul for themselves, the Ocean Rift. You can just easily return to your 1-3-1. 100 Thieves are the ones that need to start crafting some gameplay right now. And you can see they're looking for anything they can possibly open up here. Contractz is on a control ward. I didn't see which side he went to. It doesn't look like FlyQuest know he's there. Maybe 100 Thieves can actually pull something off. Everybody going mid.
Oh, Santorin deciding he's going to start the fight off against Poome, who's once again out of the picture. Killing spree for WildTurtle. Santorin looking to control these divers from 100 Thieves. Meanwhile, into the back line goes PowerOfEvil, and there is no way to even play the game here for Cody's son. PoE gets himself back away as Santorin continues to go in there with the flash into the face breaker. The playmaker. FlyQuest grabbed themselves kills onto both bottom lane players from the side of 100 Thieves. This squad is now marching all the way over to the Baron pit. Contractz has about 400 HP, so he's not going to be contesting anything about that. And FlyQuest take another big dub.
And honestly, you know, with 100 Thieves backed into a corner, that was probably the best attempt that you're going to get. But you could see there was no priority on one of the valuable targets here. You know, they used the early stun on IgNar. He even had a stopwatch. And plus, he's just the support Thresh, so no big gains going to happen there. And it opened up PowerOfEvil for that LeBlanc flank with Shen ultimate on him that we were talking about. IgNar even steals away the Grump. Are you kidding me? He is just having such a pop-off game. PowerOfEvil, meanwhile...
Oh, okay. Bye-bye. See you later, Renekton. free kill for PowerOfEvil off to the side. He's so strong. The kills just happen as an afterthought at this point.
Yeah.
Holy moly, man. How do you even deal with a situation like this? Void Staff already completed for him too, means even stacking MR is going to be so much less effective than it would otherwise be. This LeBlanc is a force of nature in this game. Whew.
Yeah, PowerOfEvil's like, I see where you're going to go next. You're thinking, I got to build some MR versus this fed LeBlanc. Well, let me just stop you right there. Void Staff completed already. Contractz did have at least the Negatron cloak to come in to survive a little bit longer, but honestly, it's just too deep for them right now. And we even saw the last ditch effort I was talking about, where you have flash for either Contractz or Ssumday to flash stun, point and click onto PowerOfEvil. Ssumday got it in that last fight, down by the tower here in the mid lane, but with the Shen shield on PowerOfEvil, he couldn't burst him down in that timing. And then he just got a distortion back to get out.
So hard for 100 Thieves to make these plays happen. They try to initiate onto IgNar, who has been immediately protected. Santorin goes on a rampage, and Poome is alone. He flashes over the wall. I don't even know what the hell that was for. There's no way he's getting away from this. 2 dead on the side of 100 Thieves. PowerOfEvil is still hanging out here in the top lane, just keeping things pushed up. TP coming in bottom from Solo. Not afraid of Ssumday anymore here at all. Sunfire Cape and Titanic Hydra makes him very strong, even up against this Renekton. Cody's son showing up to put the numbers in favor of 100 Thieves. They should be able to find this kill here onto Solo, who nearly grabs one onto Ssumday, forcing the flash into the 100 Thieves top laner. But because 100 Thieves had to commit 2 of those players to making that kill happen into the bottom lane, it's top and mid lane that both lose inhibitors, and FlyQuest just takes good trades all game long.
Another minute left on this Baron. FlyQuest don't even have to let up on the pressure, even though Solo died. So they can just transition over to the bottom side. You see this jungle? This jungle has been lit up, like, just consistently here from FlyQuest. Just red dots all over the place. PowerOfEvil just fishing around. He's even got an elixir on top of it with this extremely fed LeBlanc. So anybody heading into the danger zone here has to worry. You see Cody's son running to the top side.
Oh, and here comes PowerOfEvil. He sees him. That's the 1 health bar he was looking for. Contractz is supposed to be the tank. He survives long enough to walk away, but Poome can't say the same. 0 and 9 on this Nautilus this game. Poome having a real tragedy of one here this time around, as the Elder Drake is alive and 100 Thieves are staring down the barrel of a 4 versus 5. This should be an easy pickup for the side of FlyQuest into an easy game win with the most powerful buff in League of Legends. I don't even think anybody from 100 Thieves is going to be bothering to go in their own bottom side of the jungle near this one, and that's a pickup for FlyQuest.
True. I mean, even maybe you huddle up as 5 people and you try and sneak into a brush or something, and hope that you can find something valuable there. But other than that, they're just clearing super minions mid and top, as you can see. Honestly, not only did IgNar win the election for mayor of Hook City, but he kind of kicked Poome out of the city as well. He's been banned.
Poome out of the country, man. There's no way that Poome is anywhere near IgNar's performance in this game. It has just been night and day between these two. My goodness, this Thresh play has just been wonderful to watch. And Poome has been caught out time and time again ever since the level 1. Now hanging out in that brush with Contractz. Hey, this is what you were talking about, man. Maybe they can make something happen. Unfortunately, the Sett is not the target that's going to work on. Into the back line go the FlyQuest divers. PowerOfEvil grabbing a kill onto Contractz, making a double now as Poome is picked up. PowerOfEvil's triple kill will add Ssumday as another notch in his belt, and the push goes all the way into the enemy base. They've already got the minions there thanks to their previous inhibitor pushes. It's Ryoma versus the world, and Ryoma's world is the fountain and those steps on top of it, because he dare not walk any further out. FlyQuest setting up here, thinking maybe they might be able to grab that last kill on him. IgNar could get a death sentence.
Get in there.
But I don't think so. I think they're just going to hang out
The fountain is looking like a jacuzzi.
Nope,
Hop
he couldn't
in.
get it. He couldn't get it. He couldn't get it. That's a game over, and it's FlyQuest with a